Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Motors Today Uncut, episode 153, presented by the Major Sports Network Detroit. I'm your host, Dorf, joined each and every week by Major Sports Network founder Adam Hernandez. Across the table from me and to my left, Sean Bell. It's the first time we've had the whole band together in
over a month. It's been over a month.
It's like 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah, I think it's only been a month.
It's been a while.
It's been a little while.
We've got the whole band together. You know, Sean finally showed up last week and I couldn't be there.
Yeah, I know, right?
Nah. Same reason that he missed one of those weeks before an anniversary.
Nah, I know,
mine
right?
as well on
What?
mine 4 years with Emily on Sunday.
How was it? Was it good?
Eh.
Ouch!
No.
Damn!
Oh, wow.
Let me rephrase that.
Hopefully she's not
Anniversary
listening.
was fine. The accommodations that we stayed in were not. We went out to Kalamazoo. I do not recommend Holiday Inn just off campus. It was a nightmare. So, dead serious.
That was great.
I know you were like, nah. I was like, okay.
Man.
How about those Tigers?
Honestly, no, the accommodations were quite, it ruined everything. You know, hey, another junk goal in front of the net for the Red Wings, up 4-0 in the third period on who's that? The Edmonton Oilers. Cool power play goal for Mantha.
Well, there's typical Red Wings fans too, just sitting in their seats, clapping.
They are on the road.
Yay!
Yeah.
They're in Edmonton. Come on.
So stand
Yeah.
up and cheer.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Support your team. You drove that far, hopefully.
That's about as
Live
easy
there
to
in
get.
their
Yeah.
transplant.
It's about as easy. Who's getting transplanted to Edmonton?
If you work in the oil or gas industry, you could end up there.
That sucks.
Or actually, video games too.
You know what? It's really shitty. Like if you're in Detroit, you're like, man, these winters fucking blow.
Let's move to Edmonton.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got some.
Alberta.
You get transferred.
I heard
up there.
Alberta is great this time of year.
Oh man, that'd be awful.
I'm sure. What's the temperature right now? Probably what?
Probably like
Probably
30.
not all that different from
30.
me.
I actually looked at this yesterday. I saw some picture of this lake that's just west of Edmonton. It was like, I wondered where that was and looked it up. Yesterday it was a high of 2.
Yeah. Wait, was that Celsius?
No, Fahrenheit.
It was Fahrenheit?
2.
Damn. That sucks.
Cold.
That's cold.
So, anyway, let's get right into the program here. Detroit Tigers made a series of offseason roster moves here over the last several days, kind of clearing some dead weight off the 40-man roster to make way to protect some prospects from the Rule 5 draft and also make some waiver claims, which we haven't seen yet. So they lost Andrew Romine, everybody's favoriteest utility man since Don Kelly. Why are you Benny Hilling this? Why are you Benny Hilling this?
Because whenever we're talking Tigers roster
Yeah,
moves,
exactly.
No, honestly, none of this. Turn that off. None of this deserves that. No, this is actually quite a. I mean, there's nothing wrong with anything you did here, and that was kind of what I was going to get to, but you made me spoil it early. You lost Andrew Romine on a waiver claim. You're going to be bad. Last thing you need is a 33-year-old utility man who cares. They outrighted outfielders Jim Aducci, Tyler Collins, and Alex Presley. Right-handed pitchers Jeff Farrell, Miles J, lefty Kyle Ryan, first baseman Efren Navarro, and catcher Brian Holiday off the 40-man roster.
Jeff Farrell gets nailed in the back of the head by a comebacker. And
Welcome to the show, kid. You get hit in the head, and you're not going to be healthy the rest of the year. And yep, what'd you get for it? DFA'd. Well, I believe Aducci, Collins, Presley, and Navarro and Holiday actually all have been outrighted in their careers before, so they can refuse the assignment. We'll see. We'll see. Actually, you can track all this stuff. The Baseball Cube actually has a very up-to-date, like daily refreshes on status of even minor league guys. When I checked this morning, nothing about their, what their choices were yet. So, however, Miles J, Kyle Ryan, and Jeff Farrell have not been. Actually, Jeff Farrell has been previously outrighted, so he can also choose. But Jay and Ryan have not, and they don't have more than 3 years of service time, so they can't refuse their assignment. But they can still be claimed on waivers, assuming no one claims them. The Tigers control them. control their destiny. We gonna miss any of these guys? Oh, and Annabelle Sanchez's option was officially declined on Thursday. So, even though we've known that for, well, it's a logical inevitability for going on, 18 months now, but it was announced at a press conference, Ron Gardner's introductory press conference a week ago or so. So, still not over. Still sour about that. I think we all are. Garden hire.
Especially with Gabe Kapler getting hired in Philadelphia. Of all places.
I gotta wonder, did Gabe Kapler tell you if you called and asked him for an interview, did he tell you to fuck off?
No, because he went to the Phillies.
Yeah.
The Phillies are... Okay, the Phillies are where the Tigers should be in 3 years. That's where they are. They're 3 years ahead of the Tigers on a rebuild curve. That may be the perfect time. Like, this is essentially right when A.J. Hinch took over the Astros is where the Phillies are now. So...
Guy who's never managed before in the major leagues, I doubt he told him to fuck off.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's basically going to take whatever he can get just to get in.
Okay.
I mean, he could interview and not accept it.
Yeah.
Fair.
But there's no way, like what Ab said, that he has no experience. He's not going to be like, go fuck yourself. I'm better
At the same time, he does have a farm director job for a team that just lost the World Series. So, I mean, managing a bad team may be a step down from that.
No, by all accounts, it sounded like the Tigers. Ooh, we got an interview with Ron Geinheimer. Ooh, it went halfway decent. Ooh, do you want a job? Oh God. Oh Ron. Oh Ron. Oh,
Adam needs to check his pants.
I'm so glad you're here.
We need an old-timey baseball guy.
Oh, you what? You started opening a book on analytics? You read the preface? Oh, God.
You read the Baseball Bible by Bill James cover to cover one time?
One time?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's propping up his coffee table at his house.
It's got coffee stains on it from actually being used as a coaster.
Yeah, he's not using that. He told the Tigers what they wanted to hear, and he got the job.
Isn't that what interviews are? Telling you a perspective of the player what they want to hear?
Well, when it came to analytics, I mean, that's what
I know. They also activated VMart from the 60-day DL.
Whoop-de-doo.
I mean, you're supposed to activate all your guys, in the offseason because who cares? So, however, VMart has still not been cleared for any sort of athletic activities post-heart surgery. You trying to fix that reverb?
Yeah, it's Sean's mic.
You want to unplug it and plug it back in real quick?
Go ahead. No, Sean. Actually, I'll do it.
Okay.
Dorf, you keep talking.
So the 40-man now stands at 31 after all these moves. I'm going to ask you guys, well, let's get Sean fixed first because I really want his opinion on this. Where does this kind of set the Detroit Tigers up for, what is it kind of offseason does it set them up for? 9 spots open on the 40-man is still that's plenty of room to make moves this offseason, and also at the same time to be very active in the waiver claim and or Rule 5 drafts. Sorry, I'm gonna keep going. They do still need to protect quite a few people from the Rule 5 draft themselves. Guys that are all expected to contribute to a bad baseball team this upcoming season. Those primarily being outfielder Mike Gerber, who with some of the moves here, especially outrunning guys like Tyler Collins and Alex Presley, is now set up to start in the outfield to open the season next year. Outfielder Derek Hill, first-round pick 4 years ago, finished the season in high A ball. Hasn't been able to stay healthy, but is doing okay and is on track and progressing well when he is healthy. Right-hander Spencer Turnbull for the second round pick 4 years ago. Finished the year in Double-A, decent numbers as a reliever. Top catching prospect Grayson Griner. Well, he's not top prospect catching, but close to the big leagues. Relievers Adam Ravenel, Paul Volcker, both will likely make an appearance in the Detroit Tigers bullpen next year at some point. Infielder Cody Eves, who's logically the next man up at second base if Ian Kinsler's dealt. First baseman Dominic, I always butcher this name. Facciacello, I believe I'm butchering that, but whatever. Finished the year at Triple-A, hit a ton of home runs. It doesn't hit for a lot of power. logically is your next man up at first base. If they have a VMART injury or they decide to part ways with them, they try and fill that first base DH slot internally and not make the smart move and move Nick Castellanos to first base. He's the logical next man up there. And infielders, he's mostly a second baseman, also played some center field in the minor leagues last year. Harold Castro, who finished the year at Double-A. Those guys are all notables eligible for the Rule 5 draft. Based on what you guys know about these guys, you got 9 slots. You can, in theory, protect all of them. Who are you interested in protecting from the draft? Who do you think would be, worth for some other team to take that you might need to protect?
I definitely want to see him hold on to Mike Gerber.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. The guy honestly should start in right field for you.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is because I think that I want to see him protected just because I think he can be the starting right fielder next year. I mean,
he'll probably be in a platoon. Here's the deal: he'll probably be the fourth outfield type because he can play in center in a pinch. I bet you see a Matuk, Jacoby Jones, and Mike Gerber. 2 of the 3 will play in left and center every day, and Nick Castellanos will play in right every day. So 2 of those 3 will be in the lineup. So I think he's an obvious add, not just to protect him, but because you're going to use him.
Yeah.
Who else?
I think obviously Eves, because like you said, if Kinsler is dealt, he's gonna be your go-to guy. Basically,
he's logically the next man up.
Yeah.
He has been. He was compensation with one of those silly, inconsequential trades with the Angels a little while ago.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of been climbing through the system. Did hit in the 270s last year between Double and Triple-A. Could play second or third base. Yeah, I mean, at the same time, he's not even doesn't even rank in the organization's top 30.
Right. Oh, and then the other guy I think is Grayson Gariner.
He's going to be your third catcher.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, just in case something happens to McCann or whoever else is the backup right now.
John Hicks is.
Yeah,
John Hicks is still the only other catcher on the 40.
So if anything happens to them, he's the next man up. So you kind of have to protect him.
Yep, Griner is logically the next man up. Anybody else here you want to protect?
Maybe Hill, but
I think you could get away not protecting Derek Hill
just because of the injuries,
injury history, and realistically, he's going to start the year at high A ball.
Yeah,
guys, it would be one thing for another organization to grab a guy like Derek Hill if he was a hard throwing pitcher, where they could try and stick him in the bullpen and limp him along to try and hold on to him. But at the same time, he's a light hitting all wheels outfielder who hasn't shown to hit at an elite level at the low minors, let alone at the upper minors. He's got the defensive thing down. We've seen that kind of some highlight packages, but you can't carry him. You're not gonna be able to carry that kind of guy on a major league roster next year. So I don't think I think you can risk him being claimed because it's not gonna happen.
What about Spencer Turnbull?
Just coming off a 18-month Tommy John recovery, kind of had a rocky time in the minor leagues last year. Did kind of pick up late, finished in Double-A. He may get grabbed, but at the same time, I bet you could get him back because I doubt he makes a major league bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
What are the rules again? How long do they have to stay on your major league roster? Don't they have to stay on your 40-man, right?
No, they have to stay on your 25-man roster or your disabled list, or they have to be offered back to the other team or waived.
Okay.
So it also costs money to select a guy in the Rule 5 draft, but it's like $10,000.
So it's a commitment that you have to
basically
give for
exactly. So like the perfect example of this is Daniel Stumpf. Last year was the Tigers' Rule 5 selection. They nabbed him from the Phillies. He didn't make the 25-man roster out of camp. So in turn, they offered the Phillies, I forget what is compensation to hold on to him, and be able to option him to the minor leagues and not have to offer him back. I forget what that was, but they did do something like that. Another guy that happened with recently with Kyle Lobstein. Same thing, was a Rule 5 selection out of the Tampa Bay organization. Didn't make the team. The Tigers gave them actually future starting catcher Kurt Casale as compensation. Although Casale's kind of a 4A catcher nowadays for a bad team. So, but the guy that started for a year and a half for them behind the plate was the compensation for Kyle Epstein. Anyway, I think, and then I bet you Volker is a guy that I'd really like.
And once they offer the compensation, then there's outright.
Yeah,
correct.
So, at the same time, if the team is waived, if they don't want to keep the guy at all, they can do that too. Like if they waive him, somebody else can claim him and become a free agent. So, yeah. I would, if I got to protect this list, I'm protecting Gerber, Griner, Volker, and probably if that's all I'm doing, I'm going to protect Derek Hill to just not risk it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm not. The organization is not going to end if any of these guys get claimed. So.
Yeah. Because most of them are all replaceable super easy. Like they're not like stud prospects or anything like that.
Exactly.
So it's like you can go find somebody off the street just to fill in that spot.
Realistically, Spencer Turnbull, depending on who you ask, is somewhere in the 20s in the top organizational prospects. Derek Hill's in the teens.
Mm-hmm.
Griner's fallen out of the top 30 on the MLB list. Ravenel and Volker are like 4A relief pitchers types. Volker's 5'10" and throws 100 miles an hour, but at the same time got a PD suspension.
And plus, when is that arm going to blow when you're only that?
Already has.
I'm saying, but
exactly.
When you're 5'10", your arm's not going to last that long when you're throwing that hard.
And Eves is kind of, Eves projects as a 4-8 or bench type player.
Mm-hmm.
Castro is a light hitting, middle, second base only. Well, they moved him to center field after the trade deadline last year due to the acquisition of a bunch of minor league middle infielders. But Ravenel, they put him in the Arizona Fall League this year and then pulled him out because he sucked. What'd you do, man?
I didn't even touch it.
I don't believe you.
Sure it's not you hitting it with your feet, the cord?
My feet aren't moving. Anyway, Gerber's the only absolute have to, and I wouldn't be surprised, Griner as well. Kind of a sort of need to, just because of the lack of depth in the organization.
It's your have to.
Yeah.
It's where the fear is.
Where the haves to is.
Do you know what that is, John?
Yes, I'm waiting for you.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. What is
the have to. Let's see it.
Rabbit Boozer.
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
Rookie of the Year?
Yeah.
You ever see Rookie of the Year?
I have, but not in a long time.
Oh, man.
I don't remember what that's
a classic.
Yeah, watch it again.
Yes.
Okay.
I kind of want to watch it now.
We're going to have a screening of Rookie of the Year here in the Majors
I'm totally cool
Studios. You know how like Joe Rogan does his fight companions with the UFC now? We're going to do that with Rookie of the Year.
I'm kind of cool with that.
No, we're not.
I'm kind of cool with that.
I think, a whole part, big box of rocks with the something called copyright law has something to say against that. So
no, we're doing Adam.
It's gonna be in the background.
No, you and I can reenact it and film it ourselves.
So Sean, are you gonna be the one that volunteers to have your arm broken for this experience?
Oh, you can. It's called acting.
But if we want to be authentic to the
I'm
character,
not really gonna break my arm, but I can pretend.
Sean, if you want to, that's gonna ruin immersion if you don't actually do it.
No, that's not true.
All right.
I want to break his arm if we're gonna go the realistic route here.
What are you gonna do? Run it over with your car?
Yeah, wait a second. How are we gonna do this? Because he broke his arm by slipping on a baseball or whatever.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
you're gonna go use your son's Halloween costume prop on it.
Yes,
I could do that. Yeah.
By the way, my compliments to you.
I know that was pretty
good.
I loved it.
Oh,
yeah.
thank you.
Dressed up as 3-year-old as Negan from the Walking Dead.
And the look on his face, with those pictures, he was so excited.
He didn't know what the hell he was.
I know, but he was just so excited. Like he
baseball bat.
He had to look like he was ready to to smash Glenn's head in.
The people had a good idea of me going as Glenn.
That would have been
afterwards.
Sweet.
Yeah, I kind of wish I did. Oh well.
So, next, anything else you guys want to cover the Tigers before we move on?
No.
All right. Just kind of was sitting around this morning and it was just kind of, I don't know how it happened. I just did one of those. What happened to Andy Dirks? I don't know why that popped into my head. So I did some searching and added another guy to this topic. Guess what he's doing now?
What's that?
Selling real estate in Clarkston.
Hey, he's probably making more money doing that than he did playing baseball. If he's selling it out in Clarkson, yeah.
He's a real estate agent for Berkshire Hathaway in Clarkson.
Good for him.
I know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure he sells 3 houses. That's more than his entire salary he made throughout the entire...
Oh, no. He was on a big league roster for
2 years.
Parts of 3 years.
Yeah, but the thing is, he was only on for parts of it, so he's not getting it paid the full year.
He was on full-time for 2 and part-time
and he was probably making, like, league minimum.
Yeah. That still, at that time, was like $450,000.
Yeah, and like I said, if you're selling houses out in Clarkson, he's probably making a little bit more money.
You make like 3% of the sale price.
Not always.
Per transaction. Yeah, it's 3%.
I always liked Andy Dirks.
Yeah.
I thought he was...
Good player.
I thought he was...
had back surgery, never recovered from it. He actually, the Tigers tried to non-tender him and tuck him into the minors while he recovered from that. Well, the Blue Jays claimed him. He played like 14 minor league games and then never played again.
Didn't he tear it up in the Dominican League, too?
I don't remember that.
It was one of those, because they called him El Gringo when he was there.
I don't remember that.
You don't?
Yeah, I don't remember.
No,
that
but
like that I think they had T-shirts and everything made with his face on it.
El Gringo.
That's awesome.
I think that's what they called him.
Well, I mean, at the same time, you have wonderful nicknames from like the Mexican League of now current world champion Evan Gattis, El Oso Blanco, the White Bear. That's when he was playing in the Mexican League, that's what they called him. Actually, no, I don't think it might have been just been the minors, but yeah, the White Bear. Oh yeah, congratulations to the Houston Astros, by the way. And how do you feel if you were that guy at Sports Illustrated that the MLB preview from 2014, your cover story was the Astros will win the World Series in 2017? How smug are you right now? How insufferably smug are you right now?
Yeah, good for them.
Called it 3 years ahead of time. Yeah, so and then another guy I picked up for this, just whatever happened to them. We might keep doing this if something inspires us. Zach Follett, former Lions draft pick, hurt his neck. Spokesman for Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, and famous for his plywood cutouts of different things.
And that one hit on that one guy from St. Louis.
Yeah,
I forgot who the guy from St. Louis was.
But practice squad guy, called up for his first game, got hit of the week in his first tackle in his career.
Wasn't he known for that at Cal though too?
Oh yeah, he's a heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Dude, he was a beast.
But at the same time, if this was if Zach Follett was in the league 10 years prior, and he ended up having to retire because of a neck issue.
Mm-hmm.
Had that not happened, Zach Follett would have been the perfect linebacker for like the 70s to the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
The just home run hitting, just run stuff and beast. But at the same time, he came into the league right when the traditional linebacker was dying, was turning into an old school safety. So, guess what he's up to now?
I know what it is.
I have it written down. But
yeah, I know. That's why I was like,
you would have guessed this. What's written down before, had I not written it down?
Kind of.
Maybe.
Yeah, kind of. Maybe.
He's gone total hipster, man.
Yeah,
total hipster.
I can picture it.
He's got a man bun, and he runs 2 like hipster coffee shops in California.
Is he bussing them, or is he?
No,
actually...
he like owns and operates.
Owns oh, good for him.
Yeah, I mean, like, he's making money. He's doing something.
Owns and operates. I mean, they're called Cup of Joy, Kuppa.
Cup of Joy.
He's a big Christian guy too.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Done some missionary work as well.
Good for him.
Yes.
Cup of Joy. And, I believe one in Clovis and one in... I forget where the other location is, but he's got 2 locations.
Good for him.
And actually a really badass looking website, too.
Really?
My compliments to whoever made his website.
Yeah, I'm totally Googling it right now.
Kuppa joy.com.
Huh, let's see here. Let's see what this looks like. Cup of Joy in Fresno and...
Fresno and Clovis.
Yeah, Fresno and Clovis.
Remember, he's originally from Clovis.
It's closed right now.
Yeah, it is
Sunday.
3:30 p.m. California time on a Sunday.
All right.
Yeah, and he's it's not bad. Not a bad website.
Okay, website snob.
I was expecting something
earth-shatteringly changing.
I mean,
no, it looks pretty good.
This isn't changing my life or anything like that, but
well, it is a website for a coffee shop, but on the other side of the country.
We should order some coffee from them.
You guys deliver?
Will you guarantee it will still be hot and fresh by the time you get to it?
How much will you
2,000 miles
for some
away?
decaf right now?
Fuck
See how-
decaf.
I don't drink
decaf.
coffee anyway, so I just saw
Adam
decaf
doesn't do
was the first thing.
caffeine or anything. Adam's boring.
The only caffeine I do is right here.
You know what though? Like
Tea?
what the?
Yes.
I don't get the point
Weird.
of decaf coffee.
There's no point. It makes you shit your brains out.
It's like non-alcoholic beer. What's the point?
So it's like O'Doul's.
Yeah, it's the yeah.
It's the O'Doul's of coffee.
I think O'Doul's is the decaf of beer. Coffee was first. You know the only reason NA beer is made by anybody is for, like, tax credits and shit, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, sure.
Because them governments give the various beer companies lots of money every year to produce a non-alcoholic beer.
You know what? I don't really pay attention to that stuff because I just like to drink the beer and it tastes good. So.
Exactly. You know, actually, NA beer actually is like a 0.5% alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It is. Anyway. On to the next topic. Is Brandon Peters, the great savior of Michigan. I'm going to take a second and said I told you so. I called it in the season preview episode that Brandon Peters would be the starting quarterback at the University of Michigan before the end of the year.
You know what? I'm gonna rain on your parade a little bit here because you can't really go and gloat if nobody was really against you to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, nobody really was.
I did.
I'm like,
But wait,
not in this
Sean,
room at least.
Sean, let's let him have it. Go
Okay.
ahead.
No, not that was it.
Yeah.
I did say it at the beginning of the year. Brandon Peters would be the starting quarterback in Ann Arbor before the year. And guess what?
No, I thought. John O'Corn should still be the
Yeah.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Says who?
I'm just.
Oh, you just,
Yeah.
okay. I was saying, I hope that's not your serious opinion. I detected sarcasm in your voice.
You know what, though? I mean, a lot of people are getting really excited about Brandon Peters, and you know what? And I guess they should. And
Hey, he's 2-0 with 2 blowout wins.
he's 2-0, 2 blowout wins.
Well,
However, hold on one second. The first game that John O'Corn came in and took over for
Against
Wilton,
Purdue.
For Wilton Spate, the offense played for him too. And you know what? In a way, I'm not counting what happened last night because he only threw for 56 yards.
Amen to that. That's where I'm getting at.
8 for 13 with 56 yards.
Yeah.
And a score, yes.
Yeah, only 13 attempts and he threw for just over 50 yards in the game. They were very, very much protecting him. Yes, it's
Come
good.
on, the game was 60-yard touchdown run after 60-yard touchdown run. It's not
So
exactly
then his team had the blowout win. He didn't have the blowout win.
That's
Hey!
That's
if you
fine.
look further down the rundown here, fellers, you see my actual thoughts.
But you started us getting going, so we're just going to go at it anyways.
Okay, fine.
As much as being a Michigan fan, I'm still not sold on him yet until he throws
he
over.
the next?
If he throws over 100 yards, yes, I might start believing in him a little
Just
bit more.
100? Your
I'm
standards
saying it's
are
a
that
start.
low?
It's a start.
Your standards are that low?
Yes,
Well, he did it the
it's
week
a-
before.
It's a start. Being consistent, but this isn't consistent yet.
that's exactly what you want to see. You want to see consistency out of your quarterback. I'm not going to sit here and
Guess what? No
What?
turnovers. You didn't turn the ball over.
That's cool. That's
yeah,
cool.
that's
great.
That's great.
But guess what? Throw some more yards. Do something else.
Well,
you know?
when your coach only dials up 25 pass plays for you in your first 2 starts, it's kind of hard to, pile up some Oklahoma State level stats.
But if he's a savior and all
By the way,
that
did you
stuff-
see the final score of that game?
Yeah.
55-52?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good game. But again, I mean, this
defense.
Brandon Peters thing. Look, it's good that Michigan is 2-0 under him.
Yeah.
I'm not getting all excited about the last game though, just because it was a running game. They ran the ball
They had
all over
over
the place.
400 yards rushing.
Yeah, you had 2 running backs that ran for over 150 yards each.
Yeah.
I need to see what he's going to be doing going forward.
Right.
I can't sit here and get excited about a guy. I can't say that he's going to be the next, Lord and Savior of
Michigan football.
Of Michigan football.
I thought it was John Harbaugh or Jim Harbaugh. Rather.
Whatever.
Jesus.
Well, on
I'm
this
gonna mess up which Harbaugh
rate,
brother
John
is.
Harbaugh might be next to him very soon.
But the Ravens are going to fire John Harbaugh.
But should anybody be really that excited about Brandon Peters just yet? I mean, because this is exactly the line that we saw here with John O'Korn. Yes, they came out and played great for him in the first game.
I would argue with you that Brandon Peters, by the eye test, has more physical talent than John O'Korn.
No, that's fine. Yeah. But the thing is, too, is they employed the game plan against Minnesota that they should have employed against Michigan State.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Same situation, same weather situation.
Well, I don't necessarily think you could do that because, arguably a top 10 pick and Saquon Barkley was entirely taken out of the game this week. You couldn't run like you did against Minnesota, against Michigan State, monsoon or not.
Okay, but you could throw the ball less.
Yes. Could also not fall behind early.
Yes.
Fell behind early and they panicked.
Yep.
Yippers.
No, Michigan. I mean, I wouldn't say it was Brandon Peters.
Oh yeah, there's no way that Brandon Peters is like, let him such a great win. I'm not saying that.
He hands the ball off really well.
Yes, he does.
Stand out last night's game were the running backs and the coaching. I thought the coaching coaching wise they did a very good job adapting to the situation.
Also had
and the
a couple
defense
starters on offense out.
Yeah. The defense looked good too.
Wide receiver Grant Perry and right guard Michael Owenu.
Yep.
Missed the game. So
took care of the football. Peters didn't put you in a spot where, he was a liability, although they didn't really give him that chance to be.
Either, yeah.
And coaching drew up finally some good plays to put your quarterback in a good situation, basically your offense in a good situation to win. So,
yeah, absolutely. So what are we thinking? Let's kind of set some expectations for the Wolverines the rest of the season. What are your expectations for them in their final 3 contests?
Well, beat Maryland.
Yeah,
they better. Yeah. Rutgers beat Maryland this week.
Yeah. So, and to be honest, I'm not really expecting them to win in.
They got Wisconsin this week, right?
No, they have Maryland this week, and then Wisconsin, and then Ohio State. As what I saw with Wisconsin, it's hard to say because they haven't played a ranked team. They played super easy teams, and they should be blowing out everybody like they're doing and stuff like that. But Michigan.
Their first tough game that they actually had a game in the fourth quarter was this past week.
Yeah. So in my mind, you need to go into Wisconsin and just run all of them like what you just did this week.
Good luck with that.
You have
You're not going to do that.
I know, but I'm saying you have to. But
no, I want to see. I want to see competitive game against Wisconsin.
Exactly.
They may not win, but I
want to see something.
Look, Wisconsin hasn't played anybody all year. Wisconsin plays in one of the worst divisions in college football.
But, at the same time, you can't really. I mean, that's not Wisconsin's fault.
No, it's not Wisconsin's fault.
We're not blaming them, but I'm saying you have to go in there and basically play a competitive game and do something.
I don't want to see
define. I don't want to just so we're on the same page. Define competitive game for me.
What is
one score game?
Yeah, one score game.
One score game in the fourth quarter. Or
yes, okay. The entire game. You have to keep it with a one score.
All right.
Yep.
One score game.
And then how I see it, you have to win at home against Ohio State. You just have to. But I'm not guaranteeing that. I'm saying that's how I say you have to win.
Ohio State's pissed.
If you get Ohio, here's the thing: Pac-12 blows. The Big 12's going to have a 2-loss champ. The ACC's a shit show. You might have a 2-loss champ there. Your only potential for an undefeated champ is out of the SEC. You might have a 2-loss team.
Georgia and Alabama are in different divisions, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Alabama's in the SEC West.
So one of those teams is going to lose.
Well, they have to lose. They're going to meet in the championship game.
Yeah.
One of those teams has to lose.
That's probably going to.
It's probably going to be Georgia.
Yeah.
Let's be real. It's going to be Georgia.
Well,
it's Georgia until they prove otherwise.
Real quick, isn't Miami in the SEC?
No,
ACC.
ACC. Yeah, right.
Yeah, sorry. Miami's a joke.
They're still undefeated.
I understand that. And guess what? They'll probably lose by 30 in the ACC championship game.
I think they're going to lose to Notre Dame next week.
Yeah,
Notre Dame's probably going to Notre Dame's going to kick the shit out of them. And Clemson, probably in the ACC title game, is probably going to beat the shit out of them too. No, Mark Richt is doing a great job at Miami. Don't get me wrong. But there's circling this back in, there's great potential for a 2-loss team to make the college football playoff. And Ohio State has that kind of street cred to be that team. Their mission in life for the rest of the season is going to blow people out. They can't just get the W. They have to pummel people.
You know what? We need to see it, though.
Yeah.
They were supposed to. They were supposed to do.
They were supposed to do that in Iowa City, and guess what? They got their teeth kicked.
Yes, and it was ugly too.
It wasn't like it was
an ugly game on Ohio State's part. JT Barrett couldn't do anything. Ohio State couldn't do anything right. Everything was going. Everything was going.
Wait, hell, they got half 100 hung on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's. You know what? I'm not comfortable saying any team in the Big Ten right now is going to go in and dominate each week because we thought that Penn State was going to,
especially not in the East.
Yeah, we thought
the East is a toss-up.
Yeah, we thought Penn State was going to do it against Michigan State this weekend.
Didn't happen.
We thought Ohio State was going to go and do that to
Iowa.
Iowa this weekend. Didn't happen. Mm-hmm. You even looked the week before. I mean, Penn State looked like they were running away with it against Ohio State last weekend, and they choked. And James Franklin, I'm sorry,
still has not won a road game against a top 25 opponent in his entire career.
Yeah, can't do it. And you know what that tells me? Penn State is a fraud. Until you're able to go out and this has nothing to do with my Penn State, hatred or anything like that.
For those who don't know, Adam is not a big fan of the Pennsylvania State University.
Although I will give James Franklin his props for calling his team back on the field when they're trying to leave.
Great look. Yeah, that's a great look.
Yeah, good look for him. I will give him that. But yeah, I mean, you are a fraud until you're able to go out and win a big game on the road. That's something that Penn State hasn't been able to do. So, yeah, I'm not comfortable either which way going forward now saying that, Penn State is, Ohio State's going to roll over Michigan State next weekend.
Yeah.
Or Ohio State's going to roll over Michigan in the final week of the season. I'm not comfortable saying that because...
It's been so unpredictable.
Yeah, every time that's supposed to happen.
Getting back to Michigan here, they essentially will need a minor miracle to even qualify. Essentially, if Michigan State wins one of their next 3 games, Michigan cannot make it to the Big Ten Championship. The best they can do is tie for first in the East, but they'll lose on the tiebreaker. What is a successful final 3 games for the Wolverines?
2 out of 3.
Okay, so they need to be. There are 2 out of the 3 remaining opponents. They're like we said, we have what? Maryland, Wisconsin, Ohio State.
I know.
You're gonna beat Maryland. Eastern Michigan can beat Maryland.
Man, see Eastern Michigan against Ball State.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't see that. What was the final score?
It's like the Iowa game.
Was it a beatdown?
Fuck yeah, it was.
Good. I was going to go to that game, and I forgot I had a meeting.
Wisconsin.
You're not going to beat Wisconsin at Camp Randall. You're not. You're just not. And I don't think you can beat Ohio State at home. You have a shot.
I'm the same
you have no shot.
I'm the same way with Adam. I don't feel comfortable.
So is the season? The season is a failure, regardless of your outcome in these last 3 games. In your mind, Sean, correct?
Yeah. To be honest, yes. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Running the table salvage it for you because you'd finished 10-2.
Yeah.
Okay. And with a victory over Ohio State, finally.
Mm-hmm.
What if you beat Wisconsin, lose to Ohio State? Is it a redeemed season?
No, it's still going to be the same. It's still, in my opinion, because you have 2 losses, it's going to be a failed season. But it's the momentum going into the next season, hopefully. It'll help out for the final season. To me, it's still going to be a failure no matter what we did. We already have 2 losses.
The season is a turd sandwich regardless.
Yes, but showing at the end playing 2 of the top, obviously 10 ranked teams or whatever at the time with Ohio State and Wisconsin. That's momentum for me feeling going into next season, hopefully.
Well, Eastern beat Ball State 56-14.
Noise.
Jeez.
Noise. All right. Anything else on the Wolverines?
No.
By the way, Red Wings win 4-0 over Edmonton. Peter Mrazek, 36 save shutout.
Good for him.
Attaboy. First start in 12 days or something like that.
Hey, you know what? Remember when I said a couple weeks ago, Dorf, when it came to Michigan, the recruits they bring in.
Oh, we're going back to football here instead of hockey. I'm like, where are you going with this?
No, the coaching staff they have in there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be totally fair to say that I expect Michigan to go out and win
national titles?
Yeah. All three of these games?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that unfair?
No.
Considering what Michigan is supposed to be.
No, if we put our rational glasses on, no.
Because let's think about it like this. Okay.
You have the highest paid coaching staff in college sports.
No, and look, this isn't asking Michigan State to go and do that.
Mm-mm. No.
Look, we
still have Dave Warner as an offensive coordinator.
Let's look at this. Let's look at this reasonably here, because I think what I'm about to say is perfectly reasonable. Maryland is a shit show. Like you
Disaster.
said. Like you said, Eastern can march into Maryland right now and beat up on the Terps.
Yes.
I mean, they did beat Rutgers at Rutgers.
Yeah.
And Rutgers just beat Maryland, so thereby extension, it's not that crazy of a statement.
Yeah, logically speaking. Wisconsin hasn't played anybody this year.
Right.
Correct.
So you haven't seen them actually play a game. You've seen them blow out. Like, basically, they've basically played all, like, Division II schools.
They have beaten the teams on their schedule handily.
And that's fine.
The first close game all year came in game 9.
That's all you can ask of a team is you win the games that's put in front of you.
Yeah, like I said, it's not their fault that the Big Ten West blows.
Fair enough. But again, given your coaching staff, given the players that you bring in every year, given your head coach and the way that he runs his mouth every single offseason, you should go into Camp Randall and beat the Badgers. Not only that, you have Ohio State at home.
Should beat them there too.
You should beat Ohio State at home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think it's unreasonable for Michigan fans to go out and say, "Hey, I expect the Wolverines to win every single one of these last 3 games on the schedule." Because you know what? We have Jim Harbaugh in year, 3?
Yes.
We have top 10 recruiting classes every single season. We have a coaching staff that is making,
You had top 10 recruiting classes under Hoke, by the way. So the whole idea that the upperclassmen cupboard is bare is bullshit.
It's bullshit. Mm-hmm. It is absolute bullshit. Start demanding more out of this. Don't sit here and say, well, you know what? Well, we lost to Penn State. This is a lost season. No, who cares? Who cares? Go out, win those games, and get your fucking respect back.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to do here. You don't sit here and close up shop and wait until next season and just, we just want to get Brandon Peters some reps.
No.
Brandon Peters is only here for 4 years. Mm-hmm. 3 years now.
3 more, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a redshirt freshman.
Not anymore.
What are we doing here? If Michigan fans are sitting here and saying that, I want to see them win 2 of the final 3 games or 1 of the final 3 games. I just want to see a close game. You know what? That's bullshit. You're the University of Michigan. Go out there.
For God's sake.
Yeah, for God's sake. And do what you're supposed to do. Do what you said that you were going to do prior to the season. You're sitting there rattling your mouth around about, little brother.
Rashawn Gary.
Yeah, we're going to sit here, it's
what
Michigan's
has Rashawn
back.
Gary done this year?
And see the thing, going towards that, those typical Michigan fans, they look at it.
Sean, you're a typical Michigan fan.
No, I'm not. At least I admit that they fucking suck. But what I look at it, those typical Michigan fans, they come in here and they act like it's the NFL. Give him reps, give him. But like you said, he's only here for 4 years and he's gone. This isn't the NFL. He's not going to be here for the next 10 to 15 years. It's like, wait a second here. I'm like, no, you need to win. This is like, you have to win. If you're bringing in all these top 10 recruits or whatever, and these 5-star recruits, the 4-star recruits, you have the highest paid, coaches, you have to win. You just have to win. That's what we paid you for. You need to win. And then, like I said, told Dorf too, 2 losses, the season's failed. It's a failed season.
You didn't want another year with Big Ten championship-less.
Yeah.
But that you know what? That doesn't mean that you should roll over and die.
Right, exactly. No, there's no need for that. You should. No. Doesn't matter who you are. We're paying you this. You have to win. Just keep winning. Don't give up. It's irritating.
Absolutely. All right. Any more on the Wolverines?
Well, I mean, segueing into Michigan State. Yeah. Michigan State, this is supposed to be a down year for them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Down year for them.
7-2, tied for first in the Big Ten East. just defeated your second top 10 team of the year. Well, ranked at the time, top 10 team of the year.
Michigan State holds their destiny in their own hands.
Yes.
I don't think, based on the eye test alone, the Spartans went out. I think if the Spartans went out, Big Ten will not have a team in the college football playoff.
But you know what, though?
But
that doesn't.
Who cares?
Yeah, that shouldn't matter.
Going out.
Yeah, that shouldn't matter to Michigan State fans.
Winning out looks now very achievable.
Yes.
You do have Ohio State this week.
And that's the last
At the
one.
shoe.
Yeah, that's the.
It's gonna be tough.
Mm-hmm.
You go into the shoe, Ohio State's pissed. Honestly, let's be real. You take the names off of it, just look at the numbers. This might be the best rivalry in all of college football in the last decade.
Could very well be.
Definition of rivalry. Both teams win games. They're always good. Stakes are always high. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Michigan game, the final game of the season, is going to be meaningless. Probably.
No. Yeah, it might be. Honestly, at Michigan State, the expectation was 2 weeks ago that you didn't have a shot in this game, and that was going to be okay. You don't have that expectation anymore. You've played yourself out of it.
Adam, hand me the notepad behind you. I want to look at our records that we picked for the beginning of the season.
I'm pretty sure I picked 9-3.
Yeah.
Didn't I?
Let me find it.
I said 9-3, but 5 of the 9 wins were to me, like toss-ups.
I think I had them going with a pretty good record too.
It's 7-5, and Sean had 5-7.
Yeah, you had 8-4, Adam. Doris 9-3, and I had 5-7.
Wow. Go team.
So let's look at the Michigan one for all of us. Adam, you're 11-1.
Oops.
Dorf, you're 10-2.
All right.
And
I
went 12-0. That backfired.
Not a typical Michigan fan, my ass.
No, but that's the schedule, man. It was a little different.
I'm just giving
you know what though? You know what though? Sean is in his perfect right to demand that out of his football.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what should be
happening. All your tough games at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's minus Penn State. That was your one road game. Your one tough road game.
And you got hammered.
Yes.
Yeah. You got bent over and...
It was not pretty.
Sandusky, you had you this way.
Oh, God.
That was terrible. I know. My bad. That was insensitive, and I apologize. I'm going to look straight in the camera. I apologize. Generally insensitive. Okay. So Michigan State. So you've played your way out of the expectation of, well, just get, you still are, in the words of Michael Linney, a daycare center. You are going to graduate 3 guys that play. Everybody else should be back. I don't think you're going to have anybody who's quality enough to leave for the NFL early. With that in mind, just being here based on your play isn't good enough anymore. You need to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
The Ohio State game is very achievable. I'm not going to be upset if they lose by less than 2 touchdowns. 2 touchdowns, that's where I'd start to get disappointed.
Why do they need to win this game, though?
Your expectations have shown that you can win the games of this magnitude. You've done it twice already. Ohio State's a wounded team. Step on the throat, go for the kill.
I agree with that, but I don't think anybody should be disappointed if they lose.
This is the de facto Big Ten East title game. Win it.
Yeah.
You know what? You're back into, you know what? I called this team, this program, and the way things were handled this offseason. I believe my words for it was, this is how you run a JV team, or something to that effect.
I just don't want it to get to the point with Michigan State this season that if they lose this game, it's a failed year.
Oh, absolutely not.
I mean,
I think the only way
great.
The only way this is a failure. It doesn't matter what happens to me next week. I expect them to win it, but I'm not going to be disappointed unless, of course, it's a Notre Dame style blowout where they lost to Notre Dame. The way that loss happened was unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Play calling was shit. You turn the ball fucking over in your own end 3 times and you lost by 3 scores. That was embarrassing. You know what? As long as you don't repeat that next week, I'm not going to be upset.
Okay.
The only way I'm upset at how this season finishes, based on how it's progressed, is if you lose either of your final 2. Notre Dame and Rutgers, you should be having a backup party in the second half. Letting all your guys down the depth chart. play the entire... I wouldn't be upset if Brian Lewerke doesn't see the field in the second half of either of those games. And that's okay. That would be great. But if you're playing a close game in the fourth quarter and you need some bullshit to pull off a victory at the end, I'll be slightly upset. But if you lose either of those two, you just showed that, guess what? You're the same old fucking team. JV program. Don't take that step back. That's the only way that I get upset for this season. Brian Lewerke, I think I'm glad they have finally taken the fucking shackles off of him. This team is not a power run team. You're outweighed on the offensive front. You can still pass pro with 280-pound tackles. You can still do that. As they've shown. And guess what? You've taken the shackles off, and the offense all of a sudden can score fucking points in bunches.
Question for you, Dorf.
Yes.
Where would the Spartans be if they played Lewerke for all of last season?
Oh, he did break his leg.
I know he did, but I'm talking about instead
I don't think they'd be any further ahead than they are now.
No? Okay.
No. Because, you know what? Quite honestly, they were in worse shape last year. I don't think you really much... You might have had a little bit more of a dynamic passing offense at the beginning of the year, but that still doesn't fix the, hard-headedness, dim-wittedness of their offensive coaching staff and this unwillingness to get away from this. We're going to be a power run team. Well, then don't start a 270-pound left tackle. Sorry. Yet, you're too small to be a power run team in the Big Ten. But guess what? It's your responsibility as coaches to still find ways to win games. If that means dropping back to pass 55 times, it means you have to drop back to pass 55 fucking times. That gives you the best chance to win this year, that's fine. You can try and rebuild your identity as a power run team in the offseason. That's fine. But your responsibility is to find the best way with the guys that you have to win games. And you know what that may be, and is proven to be this year? A pro-style aerial attack. 31 personnel, and let's throw the fucking ball. And that's fine. That's great. That's the type of personnel you have to win right now. And you've seen that you have the quarterback to do that with. And that's fine. You know what? It might expose your defense because there's going to be some shorter possessions. This guy's going to be on the field a little bit more. It'll be harder to control the time of possession. That's fine. But guess what? The 2 games since you've taken the shackles off, you put up 100 points between 2 games. No, it's not 100 points. You put up over 1,000 yards of offense in 2 games. It turns out you have some pretty decent big play receivers on your squad. You just weren't giving them a chance.
No,
Felton Davis is all of a sudden the second coming of Charles Rogers.
Yeah, heading into the season too. I mean, it was expected that Michigan State was going to have nobody.
Yeah,
for Lewerke to throw to.
Absolutely. LJ Scott. Whatever. You don't have a running game. And you know what? I'm not going to put it on the backs of any of those 3 backs. They're not getting to the line of scrimmage without being touched. And that's not their fault. It's not their fault that there's no holes open.
It's easy to look past these mistakes.
Without creative play calling to open up those holes. Because you know what? Michigan State's running play calling has been relatively uncreative for the better part of the last decade.
It's easy to look past these problems, though, Dorf, when Michigan State has already done what they've done.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're winning. Once again, they're winning in spite of a bonehead offensive coordinator.
Yeah, this is something that Michigan State fans right now should be like, hey, whatever. We beat Michigan this year. Mm-hmm. We beat Penn State.
Possibly you could beat Ohio State.
I mean, we've put ourselves.
You have a legitimate chance to go win this week at the shoe.
Yeah.
Take that any year.
Yeah. I mean, arguably one of the hardest places to go and win a game at.
Win a game at. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there's probably some out there that say it's almost impossible.
The hardest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Michigan State has put themselves in an incredible position.
Two of the last 3 times.
Yeah.
They've also lost 2 of the last 3 against Ohio State at home.
They are the New York Giants to when it comes to the Ohio State Buckeyes or the New England Patriots.
Yeah.
You watched the Giants play today. Oh my God.
Well,
hey, Michigan.
The Giants are a walking hat mash unit, man.
Yeah,
they weren't all that talented to begin with.
Michigan State has shown that they're prone to having that happen to them too this year as well.
Absolutely. Stubbornness lost them a game against Northwestern.
Yeah,
they didn't take the shackles off till it was too late.
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. Anyway, cut room floor. Last segment of the night. Lions, no Lions on our show tonight, as you've seen. They don't deserve the airtime after that shit show the last week against the Steelers. Jim Caldwell continues to prove that he's a boob.
I have a question for you guys too. For that, I don't understand why we kept on trying to run up the middle with Dwayne Washington on a 2nd and goal, or that. I'm like, I don't understand that method. With we have Amir and Theo back there, where we just do like little, obviously that's their game right there.
I think that's telling you a lot about Amir Abdullah and
it's like are they done like
Amir Abdullah's usage I'm not saying have them run up the middle. I'm saying no, they're slot pass off to the right, to the left, or whatever in the back. I'm like, why weren't we doing? That's their game, so we don't have a run game to run up the middle. So why are we running up the middle? I don't understand that. Because the Lions coaching staff has this idea that we should be able to fall forward with 2 yards with anybody back there.
No, that doesn't work like that.
I understand. I agree with you.
It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, what is going on? How are these guys still, like, it's because of Mrs. Ford, but running the show. But, yeah, it irritates me so much. It's like, we're blowing the games ourselves. We shouldn't have lost that game.
I wanted to do a segment tonight about how dumb, the decision to go for it / kick field goals in the second half was by the Detroit Lions, not only from a football strategy perspective, but from a numbers perspective. How dumb and bass backwards that was, but I decided it wasn't worth raising my blood pressure.
Touche.
Lions play on Monday night, tomorrow night against the Packers at Lambeau.
They should win.
Yeah, they should. No excuse not to.
Yep.
But it's Lambeau. You know how much home field advantage is worth in the NFL?
When you don't have Aaron Rodgers, too.
Hey, period. 3 points. You're 3 points better than an Aaron Rodgers-less Green Bay Packers team. No excuses. Get the W. And also your Detroit Pistons are quietly off to a 7-3 start. Half game out in the East. For number 1 spot in the East. The Raptors are at 7-2.
You know what? Good for them. I mean, you look at what happened last night with Andre Drummond going
16 of 18 for the line.
It wasn't that. It was like
it was the night before.
Yeah, that was
the game before. Sorry.
Yeah,
that was a few days.
But still, 16 for 18 from the line.
It was 14 for 16.
What was the other night? Was it the other night? Is like 13 of 16 or something from the.
Dude, I'll take that out of my 2-guard, man.
From what?
From the line.
It was 14 for 16 when he played Milwaukee, and then last night he was 2 for 4.
Yeah, last night was 2 for 4.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, you go back to that Milwaukee game. Mm-hmm. If Andre Drummond isn't hitting those free throws, they don't win that game.
Exactly.
I think you look at the collective unit with this team. You look at what Stan Van Gundy has done when it comes to giving Stanley Johnson some time.
Didn't panic when he had like the worst game ever in the opener.
No, bringing Avery Bradley aboard and seeing what that has really done, I think, with Andre Drummond. Tobias Harris has been playing excellent this season.
If I told you Andre Drummond would be shooting 75% at the free throw line at any stretch of the year,
everybody would be laughing at you.
Yeah,
that's reality, man.
Yeah. You know what? And you know what? He still doesn't look that comfortable at the line.
Yeah.
But
they're going in.
But you know what? The more you do it, the more that he's out there, the more that teams
confidence is contagious, man.
Absolutely. And you know what? The more that teams stop picking on him too, because the more he makes his free throws, the less
the less they can do it.
Yeah. The less teams are going to do that to him. Then
he's 30 of 40 so far this year from the line.
So yeah, I mean, it's a great sign going forward for this team. They're also playing well at home. That's really all you could ask with this team right now. And playoffs shouldn't be out of the question.
No.
Should be expected.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know what? At the same time, if you're the Detroit Pistons, are you buyers at the deadline?
We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's too early still.
If they're in it, then yeah.
I would.
Okay. Is this future worth mortgaging?
Do you know what?
It's hard to see who's going to be available yet. But,
yeah.
I mean,
what
do you think they need to add?
And the thing is, yeah, like you got to look at it too. When the time comes, when the trade deadline comes, how is our starting?
How's the health of the team?
Yeah, how's the health? How are they playing? Maybe do we need this bench? But that's the thing. It's too early really to predict.
It's getting to the point. You know what? I think at this point, come trade deadline, I think they may be looking at a point guard.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, they've already apparently been talking Bledsoe for Jackson.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Eric Bledsoe's an upgrade.
He is an upgrade.
Yeah.
However, you know what? Not a lot of leverage right now with the Phoenix Suns when it comes to that.
They blow.
And the word is out that Eric Bledsoe doesn't want to be there anymore. So what are teams realistically gonna give up for a guy that is already a malcontent on the team that he's on? Not even playing with them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So
unless, of course, you're a big contender, I bet you Eric Bledsoe, perfect situation for him. Cleveland. The only problem is Cleveland has traded every draft pick for the last fucking decade. What do they really have to give a bad Suns team?
Yeah, Cleveland's in a little bit of trouble right now.
Yeah,
they went out and they hammered Washington, but when you have the best player in the world on your team, I mean, and he put down 50 points against the Wizards too the other night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're gonna have. I mean, that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. But I mean, in essence, I mean, I don't think anybody can go out there and say that Cleveland is going to.
At the same time, he'd be on the bench because I'm assuming by that time Isaiah Thomas is going to be ready to roll.
Well, I'm not even confident that that Cleveland is going to be the team that comes out of the East.
No, not right now.
And they sure as hell won't beat.
Boston looks pretty fucking good too.
Yes,
Boston looks really good right now. I mean,
Kyrie finally looks like he's playing without hesitation. Like, oh man, I don't want to piss Daddy off.
Yeah, Kyrie's working out there.
He's doing what he wants to do.
Yeah,
and that's great.
Mm-hmm. I don't
they're doing it without Gordon Hayward.
Yeah.
So,
oh man, if you're the Pistons, you interested in Jahlil Okafor at all?
No.
He's slightly more skilled Andre Drummond.
I don't think the Pistons right now are in the position to pass on anybody that is available. I mean, they're not that team yet. I think you've always got to look at players that could potentially make your team better. And if you can get them, then you try to work something out with that. If you can't, then you can't. Jahlil Okafor is not a guy.
He's a center only, though. I mean,
that's what Andre Drummond is.
Yeah.
So say, for example, if you somehow got him, or whatever, what would you think you have to give up?
I don't think there's a team that there's no way that Okafor and Drummond can exist together on the same roster. They're the same player.
Yeah,
they're both. There's not enough minutes for them both, and you can't play them side by side because you'd be defensively inept and offensively bogged down. I think there's. I don't think at the same time they're not a logical match to swap the two because they have Joel Embiid. They don't need a center for center swap. They need other positions. The only way that Okafor ends up here is in a 3-team deal. Drummond's got to go somewhere else, but at the same time, the new and improved Andre Drummond is somebody I can really live with.
Yes, we all can.
All right, anything else, guys? We want to wrap this one up.
No.
All right. Wait till we hear that music. Outgoing music. Sorry, Adam, for the abrupt outro. All right, that is going to wrap up episode 153 of the Major Sports Network presentation of Motor City Uncut. Join us each and every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern-ish. Right here on we're on about 17 different platforms right now, so live and or on the replay. So wherever you find us now, we'll be there again. Stay tuned. Next show that we're doing here in just a couple minutes, the Majors Live same YouTube channel, but if you're watching us over on Facebook, it will change. So look forward to us there. Big show tonight. Big show. All right. So for Adam and Sean, I'm Dorf. We'll see you guys next week.